We are just a few days away from FNCS, and Fortnite competitive has been all over the place. We've seen some crazy Offspawn battles, bugs costing teams their chance to qualify to finals, and a new ranked mode coming soon. So today I'm breaking down the biggest storylines going into FNCS. Now here's some interesting drama. We saw both Arc and Victor get removed from the leaderboard after competing in the Div 1 Cup. There were rumors that instantly started circulating accusing Arc of cheating and teaming. Some community members thought that maybe the system flagged him for account sharing since Arc was going to the DIG house every weekend. Arc was in school when this happened, so he wasn't really able to address anything until later in the day, which caused him to miss out on the final Div Cup before FNCS. Victor played with Snevy just to get some practice in. Arc recently posted an update regarding the situation with his account, and it looks like this happened due to incorrect information that was put on his account when it was first created. Arc was only 9 years old at the time. He's still working on restoring his account, and Epic confirmed to him he can compete on a new account if he needs to. The problem with this is he needs to get to Division 1 before FNCS starts, and he doesn't have much time. Arc just updated everyone saying that he is officially unable to play FNCS because he doesn't have enough time to meet the minimum events required to play. This means he can't play in the last chance qualifier and will end up missing this FNCS completely if Epic doesn't help return his accounts, which is extremely devastating with how much work he's put in throughout his entire competitive career. The community is not staying quiet about it either. Pros, parents, and fans are pushing for Epic to reverse the decision, and even Peterbot has been tagging Fortnite competitive directly, doing what he can to get Arc back in. Hopefully Epic is listening because Arc deserves to be able to compete in this season's FNCS. Epic just revealed the prize pool distribution for FNCS, and a lot of pros are not happy. Players feel like prize pool changes are getting worse and worse for up-and-coming players, and it's making the gap between top teams and everyone else even wider. And this is coming out right before FNCS, which is when you really want players to feel motivated, but instead they're feeling frustrated. In the past, teams coming in last used to go home with at least a few $1,000s per player. But now with this current prize pool, the teams at the bottom of the leaderboard won't even see $1,000 split between their team.
Yo, they decreased our money. They raised the V-Bucks and then they cut our FNCS prize pool. I'm actually so confused.
Most of you watching will probably never make it to an FNCS Grand Final, so you might not have any strong opinions about this, no offense. But I do feel like if someone makes it to a Grand Finals, they should expect a little bit more, even if they come in last place, because it puts them in the top 50 duos of their entire region. And this next story I'm a little bit late on, but we saw probably one of the worst performances of all time in a tournament. This happened right before Season 2 dropped, and it was Oliver OG with Krillian. They were contested at Tip Top Terrace by two players from Canada, Dolzier and Ishu. Even though the players from Canada had much higher ping, they ended up winning every single off-spawn battle. Even went on to finish 5th overall in the entire tournament. And here's a clip that pretty much sums up all of the fights.
Get it. Got a gun. I got a bomb. Bring it back. Yeah. He's getting it above us. Getting it above us. Oh.
White screen.
30 white. 90 white.
Behind you.
Wow.
The duo averaged less than 10 minutes alive during a 3-hour tournament, which may be the lowest amount of playtime we have ever seen. On the other side of the spectrum, we saw one of the craziest clips of the offseason from Poyo, where he 1v2s a pro duo with literally no mats. Put some respect on Poyo, guys. It's not just Peterbot carrying him to the finals. He is putting in work. I recently made a video about some of the biggest rivalries we've seen in Fortnite competitive throughout history, and one of the oldest one we've seen is Unknown Army and Clix. This started from Clix sniping and emoting on Unknown Army during a tournament, which made Unknown feel very disrespected, and he ended up throwing the rest of his tournament just trying to kill Clix. The beef went on for a few seasons, and it even crossed into real life since they both lived in the NRG house. It seemed like their feud was over once Unknown decided to stop competing, but he recently came back to Fortnite and was 1v1ing Zexro. He mentioned that he thought Clix was awful for not winning an FNCS, and he even mocked him for claiming to be locked in for the past few seasons but still not winning.
That kid is awful. Still hasn't won an FNCS. Said, oh, I'm really locking in this season 10 times in a row. Still ain't win.
So although it has been years since we've seen Unknown compete, it seems like there's still some unresolved drama between him and Clix. Clix did offer to 1v1 Unknown, but he was not interested. And obviously Unknown would lose. Aussie Antics is one of the biggest names when it comes to analyzing Fortnite gameplay and doing viewing parties for all Fortnite major tournaments. But one of the memes that has come from Aussie is that he always tends to have comedic timing when it comes to watching pros and their untimely deaths.
Holy f***, I've been talking about this for years. Atlantis. Never mind. How do I curse a POI? Like,
this happened so many times that the community has branded it the Aussie curse. I was even able to make a full video on my Reacts channel of this curse in action. However, this recent clip of Frantic playing the solo victory cash cup has to be one of the worst curses we've ever seen.
Come on, Fran, bring it home.
Aussie doesn't watch you because he'll curse you, yeah? Aussie, if you click on me, don't watch me. On God, don't.
Are you f***ing kidding me? That was...
Dude. Yeah, okay. Solo cash. Go, nice. Yep, there it goes.
So FNCS is right around the corner, and with it being online, it's a bit concerning with some of the bugs that we've seen in tournaments in just the last couple of weeks. In a recent duo eval finals, Muzz and Sphinx joined a lobby where there was only 12 other players. On the off chance that this game was still going to count, everyone still took it seriously, and somehow the game still went to moving zones. Peterbot and Pollo actually managed to get into a full lobby during the same tournament, but then this happened.
Go. That's not good. Well played.
And apparently Epic was having leaderboard issues with ranked cups on NA. None of them ended up working, and people realized they were actually scheduled to start and end at the same time, causing them to be unplayable. Hopefully this gets fixed before the FNCS. We've seen absolute cinema from multiple teams in the last few Division Cup finals. If the Div Cup finals are any indication for how things will go in the FNCS, we may be seeing some interesting off-spawn battles outside of Dark Dominion. Bugha was being contested by 3 other duos in the finals, which is insane since his drop isn't even considered one of the best drops this season. Currently, Clix, Higgs, and Peterbot and Pollo have the top spots. A lot of the community would love to see Bugha contest for a better drop spot like Wonky Land or Squibbly Shores. Yamzo is still not happy with Clix after Clix keyed him in the most recent Esports World Cup finals. Yamzo joined a call with Faxity and doubled down, claiming he's going to be throwing the next Esports World Cup qualifiers just to keep Clix and Higgs from securing a spot at LAN.
I'm throwing a whole EWC qual. Like, I don't care about the money.
Like, for real? No, you're just bullshit, bro.
I'm not bull, bro.
Clix recently joked about going out of his way to only focus Yamzo.
You know, I had blood figure out only Zoe's skin, so when he was in the air, I only shot Zoe.
Yeah.
Don't say that, bro. That's bad PR for EWC.
You
big brother.
We won't be seeing the Esports World Cup return until after this FNCS season, so we'll have to wait to see if this drama and rivalry actually lives that long. But Yamzo might have a different duo to worry about. He recently went 0-6 off spawn against Acorn and Bolts, and he completely crashed out over it.
No! Are you kidding me?
Oh my
Bro,
God.
go watch it, bro. Like, I got best drop and I got macro.
Josh and Yamzo swapped their drop spot to contest a different duo at Frigid Fortress, and if they don't win that off-spawn battle there, we might have to keep an eye on this duo. Bolts even went live after the tournament and really disrespected Yamzo. Acorn and Bolts are used to being conned at their POI in pretty much every single tournament, so they have a lot more experience fighting off-spawn. Acorn was recently asked if he was contested in 12 games, how many times would they beat Yamzo, and he confidently answered at least 9 or 10 out of 12 times. We're gonna have to see if these duos keep contesting each other and how it actually plays out. In other words, Kanata still doesn't have a teammate that he can stick with. He's one of the most consistent players when it comes to placing in tournaments, but these past few seasons, it's been hard for him to keep his duo. He was playing with Tyler, but posted a recent video flaming Tyler in the title, which said, "Can I qualify for FNCS with the worst duo?" He claims it was his editor who made this title, and I believe it, but still, it's not good looks. Tyler didn't seem to care about the video, but the community wasn't a fan on his behalf. There's been a lot of discussion from multiple pros about how they just don't like the vibes that Kanata brings and they don't want to duo with him. Oliver OG has not been having the best off season, but in one of the most recent solo victory cups, Aussie Antics was spectating him and Oliver actually managed to escape the Aussie curse.
Getting this close, I'm not gonna lie. All we have to do is just not get this close. This is the only way we can lose. It's the only way we lose is by dropping there and getting close. OG, why? Nope. Why do we do this to ourselves? There's no way. Nope. Oh my god, no, there's no way, OG, no, please, nope. No. And we're not reloaded. OG, please.
Now, don't get me wrong, the clip wasn't his best, but he was still able to pull off a win, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. But unfortunately, he did sell in the most recent FNCS Division Cup, and he managed to do it again.
Just died, bro. Like, yeah.
I just know Overdrive Grenades hate to see him coming. Clix and Higgs recently won a Division Cup finals, and it took them not streaming to lock in and secure first place over Pollo and Peterbot by just 3 points. For context, one elimination is worth 4 points, so Peterbot and Pollo just needed one extra elimination to beat them. The games were intense, and Peterbot and Pollo almost brought it back after being down by 40 points. There's a lot of pressure on Clix and Higgs to do well going into this FNCS, and with the state of competitive Fortnite and with all the news surrounding Epic, Clix has talked about trying out GTA 6 with Stable Ronaldo to see where that takes him. He loves Fortnite, but you have to invest a lot of time and energy to play at the highest level, and it can cause you to miss out on some cool opportunities. There were some rumors about Clix and Higgs potentially splitting before the FNCS, but with them coming in first place while not streaming, Clix talked about how he really wants to lock in for the FNCS tournament and most likely won't stream his games. He did, however, stream his solo victory cup this past weekend, and he almost won back-to-back games in the finals. On NA West, a player named Kosniak actually won 2 finals in the solo victory cup. And the crazy thing is he did this while getting 0 kills. Literally 0 kills throughout both games, but managing to secure both wins on 60 FPS, earning him $200. It makes you realize there's really no excuse for a player not to be able to win. However, it has been a long time since we've seen anybody win 3 out of 3 games in a solo cup finals. So hopefully we see it happen again this year. Over in the EU region, you'll run into Shark and Teeny. They're the most prominent free agents on EU, but they just made a huge announcement. After only 2 weeks of being free agents, Shark and Teeny announced that they have officially joined Team Aurora. They're one of the best duos in the world right now, but recently they found themselves involved in some drama with Mongrel. The reason for the drama is that Mongrel and his duo Turtle are planning on contesting Shark and Teeny at Wonkyland for FNCS. Shark claimed that Turtle had been trying to drop Mongrel, and there's been a lot of drama from Mongrel's community towards Shark because of it. But we gotta remember that even if they do decide to land Wonky, the Offspawn battles will be cinema. And in Shark and Teeny's most recent tournaments, it seems like there's always something that gets in their way. They only got to play 2 games in the most recent Cash Cup finals after Shark's power went out. And then his duo Teeny also got griefed by a bug in Wonkyland that left him stuck inside the map. But they're not the only team that's running into bugs in competitive. Queasy can't catch a break when it comes to bugs. He recently encountered a bug while driving around one of the golf carts in one of his tournaments. He ended up getting stuck in the driver's seat with no way to exit, even with all of his binds set up properly. As soon as someone spotted him, he was an easy target to be sent back to the lobby. And then in the Div Cup, him and his duo were set up perfectly for the end game with max mats and perfect positioning after pulling zone. But out of nowhere, Queasy's PC fully blue screens for no apparent reason. The blue screen left him and his duo just 7 points away from qualifying to finals. However, in some happy news, Malibuca won a solo victory cup this season with probably the craziest Discord call I've ever heard. Yeah! Then we saw the big Mongrel win his first solo victory cup since he returned to competitive back in 2023, and he did it on 120 ping. He's been taking competitive very seriously even during the off season, so it's great to see the return of Mongrel. Over in Oceania, Anon tweeted that his new duo going into BR tournaments is Feuds. The reason this is interesting is that Anon and Vazen won't be playing together, even though they just qualified for the Esports World Cup together on Reload. We won't see the EWC pick back up until after the FNCS, but a lot of the community in Oceania is wondering what this means for this duo and how their vibes will be moving forward. Just after the layoffs were announced by Epic, a major tournament was postponed. There was supposed to be a huge event with notable creators and pros, which had people thinking this was the official Fortnite Pro-Am like we saw last year. But it turns out it was a third-party tournament not hosted by Epic, and there were rumors that it got fully canceled, but it has been clarified that it was just postponed. A new date was not announced for this, so some people think it will eventually be canceled altogether. And we have to talk about Fortnite Mobile because there are still tournaments happening for mobile players. But the aim assist on mobile got buffed so much that it looks like literal aimbot.
Oh my god! Why are they in fucking wherever the hell they are?
Look. No hands, no hands. This is crazy.
Players don't even have to touch their screen in order to kill each other. Hopefully Epic takes a look at this because I'm not trying to get fried by a mobile player. Looking ahead, Fortnite is dropping a new mode called Arenas, and it looks like it's going to be Fortnite's official box fight mode for solos and duos. And apparently there's going to be a ranked mode with a 16-player round robin format, meaning there will be multiple rounds of 1v1s or 2v2s. It's set to release on April 9th, and it's expected to last for less than 2 months, but leakers are saying that time frame is subject to change. This could be huge for competitive practice, but we still don't know if there are going to be tournaments or rewards with this new mode. If Fortnite competitive keeps going in this direction, FNCS is going to be wild. Let me know what you guys think about everything that has been happening in the competitive scene, and definitely let me know if you want to see more videos like this. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.